We will be recording. There it is. We have been having some issues, guys, with our meetings being able to be recorded so that we can post that on YouTube. We're hoping that today we're able to get it going. We have someone else that's going to try to capture the meeting for us, but just in case, there was a couple of people that reached out to me that wanted to go back and look at meeting, and that's why they weren't there. So it's a technology is wonderful when it works, right?
Right.
But when we have that little snafu, that's why. Well, we're going to dive in again. Welcome, y'all. 2023. We made it to a new year. Yes, and just want to welcome you all to the ROSC. Let's see. Yes, so we're going to start here. We are going to start with a checkup from the neck up. Who's ever heard that saying before, right? We have just come out of a extremely busy hustle and bustle of life. And so I just thought we'd do a fun little quick check-in with each other. We're always tapping into how other people are feeling and what they're doing and what they're, have going on. So I thought we would just have a real quick check-in. Is that all right with everyone? Yeah, okay. I think a lot of times we ask how everyone else is doing and we don't take a moment to check in and see how we're doing. So that's just the spirit of this. And we're just going to use our new technology of Slido, if you haven't used it yet. This is my first attempt of using it. So it's super simple. You can either go to slido.com and enter this code, or you can simply use your mobile device and scan the QR code and it will take you. I guess I didn't think about that too, Nadia, about sharing that actual page.
Oh, you can verbalize it and we can send out a snapshot of the page afterwards.
Okay.
Because I don't have your login to like screen share the page.
I know, that's what I was just thinking, that I didn't add that in. So, well, the first question that I had that we were just, I wanted to throw out and just get a feeler. If you had to describe how you're feeling right now as an amusement park ride, what ride would you be on? So I just want to have a little fun with that idea, just and once you start entering those in, they will come up live, and we can share that. Or I should have gave you mine to share the actual screen. I'm sorry.
Okay. Did you pose you might have to, I don't know if it'll be launch a poll or if it's like type a question.
Well, will it let me share my actual screen?
Yeah, let me stop my share.
Yeah. Let's do that. I think that'll be the best route to go. Bear with me, be thinking about if you were an amusement park ride, what would you be? And let's see here. Well,
if you can't share on there, we can also, if you're in the Slido app, you can see other people's responses as it's going.
Yep, I can. And I'm just trying to get it over to.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of similarities.
Well, I will. Yeah, I guess because you guys can see it on your end. I'm sorry. I wanted to incorporate it actually into the PowerPoint, but that didn't work. So we have merry-go-round, Aerosmith roller coaster, tilt-a-whirl, roller coaster, tilt-a-whirl, slingshot, Ferris wheel, carousel. Yes, I think that we can all agree to some extent that we are feeling like we're going round and round, up and down. So just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge that and remind each other that the interesting part that we have all in common is that as far as our professional lives, we don't build furniture, right? We don't produce or manufacture something. We deal and have the privilege to walk along lives, right? The lives of other people. And so that is going to feel up, down, and around a lot of the times. And just wanted to confirm and validate those feelings. And just a reminder as we continue to speak on health and wellness, that we just take a moment to acknowledge that different ways that we may be able to perhaps get off of the roller coaster or merry-go-round and maybe get on one of those floaty kind of, what is the wave pool, not the wave pool. What am I thinking
Lazy
about?
river.
Lazy river, wouldn't that be nice? Just I don't know, but to just take a minute. Interesting how our feelings and how we're doing does affect the work that we're doing. So just wanted to take a second to acknowledge that. The other question I have that I would like for you to consider is your word for the year. If you've thought of just a word, whether that be being more timely or being more, I struggle with the procrastination. I don't know if anyone deals with me. I'm not very, but a word that you would like to focus on, or a word of hope that you'd like to have. If we can just show, that's going to come up as a word cloud. It'll be on the same Slido. Let's see. I don't know how to. Sorry, y'all.
We can type it in the question format and do it the way we did the first one. I think there's one more step about launching a poll, but that's okay. We can. So our word of the year. Yeah. So a word that you would like to either work on, something that you would like to, you got, okay. Just a word that is something that you kind of are standing on. So for instance, I'll give you my example, and probably my word of the year is mindful. Me being just more mindful about the choices I'm making, the commitments I'm taking on, those kind of things. So that's just kind of an example. If you guys can kind of just share, that doesn't mean you're there yet. That doesn't mean that we've arrived, but maybe something that you're trying to achieve throughout the year, whether it be more organization, whether it be some of our friends are, can be late birthdays. Maybe you would, I don't know what it is for you, but just if you could just share a goal or a word of the year that you're trying to achieve or reach out for. Does that make sense? All right, let's see. Yes. Did I say that right? Retirement?
I love that. I love transformation. I love that word. Comeback, rest, confidence, grace, being present. I love that. Ultimately growth, for sure. Resilience. These are good words. And it sometimes I can feel a little leery about even jumping into things like this, but we truly are those that care for others a lot of the time. And so again, it's just a moment to get a checkup, to encourage one another, to let each other know that you're not alone out here. So thank you for joining me in that little exercise. Ultimately and hopefully that we just continue to focus on the work, and the work that we have in front of us here when we come together is the ROSC, right? The ROSC is what brings us together, recovery-oriented systems of care. And just wanted to start the year out again with just reintroducing what we are, what we're doing, and what we are hoping for. And so this is the SAMHSA definition of a ROSC being a coordinated network of community-based services and supports that is person-centered and builds on the strengths and resilience of individuals, families, and communities to achieve abstinence and improve health, wellness, and quality of life for those with or at risk of alcohol and drug problems. So that's kind of like the snapshot of what we're doing. It can get really complicated at times when we are trying to put all these things together, but I also took the little snapshot and just wanted to read a few of the things from our mission and our, values of the ROSC. Just not to go through it all, but just to remind each other why we're here. And ultimately, the ROSC is created to help facilitate agencies, organizations, and services to come together, to know about each other, to know what's going on, to be able to support the efforts, like it says, to educate and raise awareness, disseminate information, to be an advocate. These are things I want to share and put on your guys' mind, because that's how I want to be able to be available for you all to utilize the ROSC, right? We want to help to prevent, to intervene early, to support recovery, to support outcomes. These are all things that we want to help what you guys are already doing to flow as cohesive as we can. And part of that is we know that you guys are doing so much busy work that we don't always know what's going on with other folks, because we're head deep in what we have going on. So again, we hope that you all can utilize the ROSC to help be that bridge, to help facilitate those connections, to help share information, to help get the word out, to help plan and coordinate. So just wanted to kind of give another overview. I know we have some folks here that are here for the first time, and we'll chat a little bit more later, but I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Do we have any questions about the ROSC when it comes to what we've been charged with? Do we have are we feeling good about us being confident of knowing the ROSC Council role? So I'm thinking, if I don't see anything, that we're feeling good about that. Okay. So one of the quotes I loved that I saw is when we start working together, that's where the real healing takes place, right? Those of us who are working in 100% rural communities, we have been struggling with the silos of not knowing what services are available, not knowing what services or how to get people connected. And so one of the ways we wanted to kick off this year is to help share and highlight different services and agencies. And yes, I am an employee of Chestnut, although everyone, right, the council comes from all different agencies. The reason I started with Chestnut is very important, because I believe it is a snapshot of, oh, you look different, Tom. You got some hair now. The reason I wanted to start here is primarily because of Samantha. And the reason I'm picking on Sam is a beautiful example of what can happen when we collaborate. Because Sam, if I may, just a little bit, those who have been around have seen Sam, and those I would like you to introduce her as a person with lived experience who has had actually treatment services in her personal life provided through Chestnut, connected with our ROSC, was very active in our community, came to our recovery walk, found information regarding Recovery Corps, was connected there, has been doing and staying committed, and I can only imagine that Tom saw how much of a dynamo she was while being there, because now Sam is a residential case manager for Chestnut Health System. So, and is about to earn her CPRS. We're hoping before the year is out. So this is why kind of it's a full circle. we will benefit from hearing the services that are provided so that we can have good, clear, accurate information. But also I wanted to bring that full circle to see how the work that you all have been doing is truly impacting lives and bringing folks back to the table to continue that cycle. So super excited to have Tom Brown and Samantha Martini here from Chestnut Health System Residential Treatment. So take it away, y'all.
Thanks. In fact, I want to thank you for two things. First, for having us, of course, and two, for drawing attention to how amazing Sammy is, because it makes me easier to do this knowing, for my social anxiety's sake, that you're all thinking about her and not me. So it's all good. So I am one of the two coordinators for our residential program. Our other is Sharice Kervin, who's also here in support. Hi, Sharice. And yes, Sammy is one of our case managers. So Chestnut's residential program is only one of, I can only assume, to be dozens of programs that help our recovering communities both for mental health and substance use disorder. We are a 28-day inpatient residential program for substance use. We help individuals who are looking for recovery for all substances. Predominantly right now, we're helping more people with alcohol, meth, and heroin or fentanyl, but it is not exclusive to those by any means. It's interesting, the more you work in this field, you kind of see the change in the using, I don't know, like the environment, like what becomes popular, what becomes available, how the economy of the using scene changes. So right now it's a lot of meth and a lot of opiates. We have a women's unit and a men's unit. We try to keep them separate in order to enforce trauma-informed care. Each unit has more than 16 beds, but a cap of 16 clients per unit. Typically, we run anywhere from 10 to 14 clients on each unit. I think now we're within that ballpark. We have been increasing our census. I say post-COVID as if that means that COVID is gone, but we were at single occupancy for quite a while. So now we are back to full occupancy and getting back to old numbers. We provide services for people all over Illinois, predominantly McLean and Madison counties, however, not exclusive to them by any means. A lot of our McLean County clients are referred to us from local drug courts, probation, local doctor's offices. Sometimes the local hospitals have clients who are in need of residential services where their insurance is not taken or things like that. And then for those of you that don't know, there is another branch of Chestnut down in Madison County outside of St. Louis. So we partner with them once or twice a week, helping bring people up for our residential program. We mostly help Medicaid population. I haven't been here long enough to know if that's by design or if we just kind of fit that niche, but it is a community that needs the help. So that's most of our target audience. The physical space for our unit, it's a large communal space where they may have groups, they may have some meals on the unit, where around the unit are individual bedrooms. Each bedroom has 2 beds in it. Some bedrooms share bathrooms with other bedrooms, but there's never more than 2 people in a room. And if there's ever specific considerations for medical purposes or mental health or, again, trauma purposes, we may have someone in a room by themselves by design, but we try to emphasize you may get a roommate at your stay at Chestnut. We offer inpatient residential counseling. So whenever a client is in need of medical or psychiatric care, we have to partner with either our CFHC here in Bloomington or the neighbor or our partnering ones in the southern region if the client is from that region. Our health center does help us with our mandatory physicals. So every client will have a brief physical during their stay. We also use our health center for sick visits. So for instance, if someone No, I don't want to get gross, but I can only think of gross things at the moment. So if someone, instead of going to urgent care or prompt care, we try to see if our health center has an availability first. If a client has a concern that does require primary care, then we do have to refer them back to their primary care provider. And Jeanette, your face popped up for a minute and then kind of went all matrixy. So nice to meet you. Our treatment team consists of both kind of frontline staff and clinical staff. So our frontline staff are comprised of residential technicians who are responsible for helping our clients with every little thing they may need throughout the day. So helping them get up on time, helping them complete their chores, helping them with their meals, talking to them when they're lonely, assuring them when they're scared, being the first person available to really help with anything at any given time. We also have case managers, which is what Sammy is. Sammy, can you kind of give us a brief rundown of everything that you do, if you can?
Well, first and foremost, I always let my clients, and even those who aren't my clients, know that I'm here to advocate for them and to let them know that they're not alone. That, you know, I'm here for them to talk to if they need to talk or anything. But we help with their resources that they need when they get here, whether it is housing, trying to find sober living, and then also we can help them with jobs, maybe helping them with a resume, set up doctor's appointments, anything that they might need in order to like get ready for their next step once they leave here, just to help them with a smoother transition for when they do leave.
Mm-hmm. Our case managers also facilitate educational groups. And I'll kind of go into those a little bit more in depth in a minute. Other frontline staff include recovery navigators. So we have currently one recovery navigator who's doing a practicum through us. They are a member of Recovery Corps, and he might be on this call. It'd be cool if that was him, but it was not. Usually have one. I think we might have more soon, hopefully. Hopefully. We then have medical staff, which include nurses and medical assistants. So they partner with our, he's our doctor, but he's also our medical director. So they have to get all orders to them. In terms of the clinical staff, we have a team of 4 clinicians who meet with clients individually, and they do the one-on-one counseling. They provide the treatment plans. Their goal is to help the clients get as ready as possible with relapse prevention and sometimes a lot of trauma, a lot of grief, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, things that our clients need far more than 28 days to address for sure, but definitely get them on the right path and make sure that they have the tools necessary to continue that journey. When we have a client who's admitted, they are assigned one case manager and one clinician. So the case manager and the clinician work together, both on the treatment plan and the client's individual needs. But everyone really pitches in if someone's out for the day and someone needs to run over to PATH or someone needs to go to the DMV. We all pitch in, but usually it's siphoned through their case manager and their clinician. In terms of our curriculum or things that we focus on in groups, we talk a lot about mindfulness. So trying to emphasize that it's okay to not be okay, and that it is important to recognize what being uncomfortable feels like, because as awesome as it is to maintain our sobriety, it's going to be uncomfortable. And so there's a lot of resiliency building with that. We do urge surfing. We use a few breathing techniques just for mindfulness. They're some of the hardest groups to do, but I think our clients get the most out of it. So we have several groups that kind of delve into that in different aspects. We focus on relapse prevention, whether it's again through mindfulness to say, yes, I can have a craving, I can have an urge and survive it, and recognizing what that survival feels like. All the way to kind of the basic, what are your people, places, and things, and what are your new ways you have to take home, and who are new people you have to associate with. It's for those of us on the call who we've heard that a million times or we've lived that a million times, it can get kind of like, yeah, we've heard that, but we talk about it all the time because it works. So we have several groups that emphasize that. We do have gender-specific trauma and recovery groups. So we use a man's way through the 12 steps, a woman's way through the 12 steps, helping men recover, helping women recover, seeking safety, as well as seeking strength, kind of a version of that curriculum we use for our male clients, trying to get them to have a safe space to, if they're ready about it, talk about the trauma, but realistically to be able to talk about what it means to live with trauma, because we know that a lot of our clients are not ready for that, and we don't want to push them to something they're not ready for.
Well,